right. Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year's to you too. I haven't talked to you since last year.
That is so very true. And
Yes,
the last time we tried this, it was not, we did a whole hour and no sound.
but we had fun though. That's all
We
that
did. We most certainly
matters.
did.
Yes,
Good. So, have you made any New Year's resolutions?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Any
So,
you'd like to share?
so my word for the year is consistency.
Okay.
I'm gonna be intentional about being consistent. So
Mm-hmm.
any habits, routines that I want to implement, I'm going to be consistent with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good, good.
And
That's
you?
great. I still haven't made any. I've been thinking and thinking, and I guess because we ended 2023 on such a high note,
You just
I
want to keep
have
going.
no idea. I just want to keep the momentum going into
Yeah.
2024 and just keep growing and keep, just enjoying life because that's where
Yes.
I am at this point is
Yeah.
just enjoying every day. And speaking of enjoying every day, we went to see The Color Purple today. My
Oh,
daughter-in-law, my mom and I, and it was so nice at 11 o'clock. I'm like, oh, see, don't ask me if I'm enjoying retirement because the answer is
is yes.
unequivocally yes.
Well,
You don't even
listen,
have to
we
ask.
get there. I have to get there.
Oh my
I still need to
goodness.
go. But it's okay though. It's
Yes.
okay because
And
I'm
so,
learning and growing and still enjoying. So
right. And enjoy because I did, but it's so funny that people are saying, oh, you're too young. You're too young to retire. What are you going to do? Well, that means I started early.
yes.
That means I started very, very early and I'm
Yes.
tired. So, whatever I do, if I choose to do nothing,
Mhm.
guess who earned that?
I did.
I
Yes.
earned that nothing. So, hey, please don't ask
Absolutely.
me that no more. Please, people, don't ask, what are you doing? Don't say, are you too young to retire? Because let me tell you, this is the best time of my life, other
Yes.
than having my children.
Yes.
This is the best point in life you could really be at to where you can do what you want when you want, or if you don't want to do anything, you don't
You
have
don't have to.
Right.
Yes.
That's the purpose of living to me is to
Yes.
get to this point where you're just free from the shackles of working, and you can do what you want to do.
Waking up
Right.
because you have to go somewhere. Yeah.
Right. And this is what I want to do. Speaking of
Yes.
what I like to do.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, guys.
Yes.
So let us introduce ourselves. I am Coach Raychelle with KB Educational Consulting. I help teachers successfully pass their teacher certification exams. And we have onboarded several coaches to help us with this mission. And tonight, I have Coach Destinee with me, Coach D. She is a fabulous, fabulous teacher. She is our science coach for EC through 6 as well as 4 through 8. So hey Destiny, thank you for joining in with me tonight.
And thank you for
Please,
having me.
oh, it is a pleasure.
Yeah.
Please share some things with you that you would love for our listeners and our potential clients to know about Coach D.
So, science is my jam. That's what I love. It comes Some concepts are a little bit difficult, but for the most part, science comes easy for me.
Hmm.
Um, I love it. I love learning about it. I love teaching it. And I like it because it's so relevant.
Hmm.
You go in the kitchen, that's chemistry. Um,
All right. Never
the
thought about it that way, but okay.
the whole concept of having a child, that's biology and anatomy. So it's so relevant
Hmm.
to life. And so
Okay.
when I'm in the classroom, I relate it to real life because, for kids, it's like, okay, and why am I learning this? This is
Right.
pointless. But once you start adding in the real life aspects to it, it's like, oh, wow, I do this all the time. I do that all the time. and you see those aha moments.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this is not just for children, it's also for the adults too. So,
Exactly. Exactly. So my gym is ELA. I'm a language arts teacher by trade, I suppose.
mhm,
My certifications are self-contained, uh, K through 8, and then reading K through 8. So
okay.
reading has always been a part of my background. But like you said, that aha moment where you can make a story come to life,
Mhm.
and the kids are like, wow,
Wow, yeah.
I didn't even pay attention to that, or that little detail, and so that's what I find rewarding as well when working with clients, is that aha moment,
Mhm.
when they're reading those questions and they see, oh, it was just that simple. I knew that exactly, so
Mhm.
what we do is very similar to how we help students. And I think that's what's enriching me at this time, is because I'm doing it at a different level.
Yes.
When you're working with adults, it's a different level of accomplishment, because they're
Mhm.
really trying to reach this goal of passing and becoming getting their
Mhm.
certificates, excuse me. And so that's one of the reasons I like doing this. So what can you tell us about your experiences thus far, having worked with the clients you've worked for in preparing for the science exam?
So again, science is different.
Mm-hmm.
And there's different sciences. You have physical science, you have um, earth and space science. Like you have so many different disciplines of science. And
Mm-hmm.
when working with clients, they might understand this piece, but they might not understand, this piece very well, this discipline of science very well. So, having to it's almost like being in the classroom again, as you stated, being in the classroom and breaking it down for them so that they can have that aha moment.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're not children, they're older, they have a lot more experience.
Right.
So there's a lot more to um, use as an example
Mm-hmm.
for them. Um, my sessions are fun because science can be boring if you have the right person for it to be boring. It can be boring.
Okay.
I always love to make it fun. We laugh. It's like, oh, I didn't get this. I'm like, okay, well, let's think about it this way.
Uh-huh.
Because this is, you have to love what you do.
Exactly.
So I try to make sure that I bring that energy. And if I don't know something, I will tell you, I don't know. My,
Mm-hmm.
my major was biology. I'm biology and chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Earth and space science, I had to really learn by teaching.
Right.
um earth and space science, about the universe, but really having to dig in and know more than what you need to know in order to teach it effectively for
Right.
students. It's the same way with the adults.
Exactly.
So everybody has their weak spots, but
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, we're going to work through it. If I don't understand something or I don't know something, I'm always you know, able to say, okay, you know what, I don't know that. Let's put a pin in that. Let me go look that up, research it, study it.
Right.
So every day, every session is a learning journey for my clients and myself.
And I love that transparency, because so many programs out here present themselves as, being the know it all, have it all. And the reality of it is you don't.
Yes.
Um, because it's just like being in the classroom. Some things you're going to be
Mhm.
stronger at, some things you're not. And so having that, knowing that and going into it, and having our clients understand, yeah, there might be something I might need to look this up, because I've done that as well. Okay, give me a
Mhm.
second, because that doesn't sound right. And I have to
Right.
do some research on my own. But that's what we're here to do, is to
Yes.
help give that clarity, so you don't have to go out on your own and find those answers. I also want to tell you, you had me balancing equations, and I can't stand chemistry. It was like, oh no, let me pay attention. And by the
Mhm.
time you finished balancing that equation, I was like, see, if I would have had her in chemistry, I might pass.
And for me, it's easy.
Ugh.
It just makes sense.
How
But
you
like,
explain it, yes, it makes a
right.
lot of sense. But some people can't break it down to where you understand that equation, how to balance
But
that silly equation.
but at the same time, it's the same thing with the students in the classroom.
Hmm.
Like, who cares about balancing an equation? Nobody. And so I have to bring to the table, why is it important for you to know how to balance an equation?
Hmm.
And maybe that might be the
Okay, tell me that. Why is it
tell you
important?
what.
Why is it important to balance an equation?
So, okay. Hold on. Let me
Y'all
put my
see how she moved? She just had to shift it. Well,
it's
let me
it's
let
just
me get
it's just
into
like,
it.
so it's just think about baking a cake.
I've done that twice so far.
Okay.
This week, and it still hadn't came out right, but I'm gonna do it a third time. Okay.
Oh no.
Maybe you getting ready to give me some clarity on helping me make this cake rise.
So for me, I like to explain it like, you know, um, it's important to balance an equation because you want to make sure that what you start with is what you end with. It's like baking a cake.
Hmm.
You have all of these different ingredients.
Right.
And in order for that cake to come out how you want it, you need to make sure that you have the right ingredients
Right.
and that you mix them together so that cake can rise in the oven.
Uh-huh.
And what you start with is what you should end with.
Okay.
So if you start off with eggs in the cake, you should end with the cake rising.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So that's just a little, little, I don't even know if it made sense. But
It
you know,
did.
we that's because science is so relevant. So it's like, okay, well, if I'm sitting here planning lessons, like, well, how can I explain this?
Mm.
How can I explain that? So it's just, and sometimes you have to kind of be a out of the box thinker,
Okay. Right.
especially with students. You if you use um like different ingredients.
Hmm.
Okay, these are your reactants. All of these things are going to react when you mix them together, and this is going to be your product.
Right.
So now they get to see it,
Okay.
you
Good.
know. And
Hmm.
so having all of those tangible and visible and relatable concepts, that's what makes science easier.
Okay.
And I feel that science is a tell-all subject.
Hmm.
So science is science, but science includes math. It includes reading. It includes history. And so putting all of those things in one bucket, it can
Hmm.
become overwhelming
Yes. Yes.
for the learner.
Right.
So it's a journey that you have to go through with the students in the classroom, and likewise with the clients, because sometimes it's like, I haven't seen this stuff since high school.
Exactly. Right.
But for this test and when you're teaching, this is what you have to know.
Okay. Well, that leads us into our next question. As a coach, what do you believe sets KB Consulting test prep services apart from other test prep providers? And how does your coaching approach reflect that difference?
So the first thing that I would say that sets KB Consulting apart is the one-on-one coaching,
Hmm.
the one-on-one coaching that you get in order to prepare for this exam. Because with this exam, you're paying money, and I believe you only have 5 times to take a specific test now.
Yep. 5 attempts.
And
Hmm.
so you want to make sure that you going knowing what you know, that you're confident in what you know, and that you
Hmm.
can go in there, no stress, as less anxiety as possible
Hmm.
when you go into this test. And so having that one-on-one is is very important, because I can read a book,
Right.
but there's some things that I don't understand and I have nobody to talk to.
Hmm.
to help me understand whatever it is that I don't understand. So
Right.
having that one-on-one is the main difference
Hmm.
that I believe that sets KB Consulting apart.
Awesome. And so you mentioned test anxieties, and I have we have experienced so many teachers or candidates with test anxiety. And it's very interesting because adult learners were child learners,
Mhm.
right? And so that means those anxieties began a long time ago, and you're able to cope with those anxieties while you're in school. But then now all of those anxieties are resurfacing because
Mhm.
you have this test that's your
Yeah.
livelihood. This
Yes.
is your career. So
Yes.
not only is it a test, but oh my gosh, I have a
Mhm.
time limit on this test.
Yeah.
I have a limitation of attempts on this test. What if I don't pass it? What am I gonna do?
And I have
So
more tests to take. It's not
exactly.
just one. I think it's depending on what grade level you're teaching now, it might be 3.
Up to
You know?
3. Yes,
Yeah. So, that's a lot.
it is. So what strategies or techniques have you suggested to your client, to your test takers, that to help manage those anxieties?
So I would start off by saying that planning is key.
Mhm.
Make sure that you plan out far in advance. Give yourself that time. You want to make sure that you're calm, cool, collected every time you sit in front of the computer screen, you go to read, whatever it is. You want to make sure that your brain is able to receive
Mhm.
what it is that you are about to study, because you're studying at this point.
Mhm. Oops, you
You're
have a
just
train.
we have a train.
That
um
was a yes.
yes, that was a yes. um you want to make sure that you are able to receive what it is that you're trying to get, and because some of these concepts are not easy.
Mhm.
um a lot of people don't know and don't understand that. Even, I talk to a lot of elementary school teachers or people that want to teach elementary, and they're like, well, why do you want to teach elementary? Oh, because it's not going to be hard. Well, you have to know at least a level up
Mhm.
from what it is that you're going to teach.
Exactly.
So if you're going to teach elementary, you need to know middle school.
Mhm.
If you want to teach middle school, you need to know high school. And so a lot of people don't know that. So when you're going in to study, it's not just, oh, I want to teach kindergarten, so I'm gonna learn everything that it is that I need to know for kindergarten. No,
Right.
you need to know more than it's almost like overpacking. I
Yeah.
need to make sure that I pack extras just in case.
And
Although I want to teach the subject.
that's a huge misconception.
Hmm.
Is oh well, I got it, I'm good in science, and you go test and you're taking math, ELA, social studies,
Yep.
like especially for the elementary. Then you have arts, drama, theater, PE, physical education.
Yeah.
So that's huge. It's not as easy as one would think. You
Hmm.
have to spend the time and prepare. It
Hmm.
amazes me when people say, well, I just sat in the test to see what it was about. That's a blown attempt.
You can
Okay.
go you can go get, pay to take a practice test
Right.
if
You
that's
can.
what you want to know what it's about.
Exactly. There are many ways for you to see
Hmm.
what the content is going to be on the test before you go sit in the test. Like that's just mind-boggling to me. And I
Hmm.
was getting a lot of clients when we first started off that had that mentality. Don't do that. I mean, that is the worst strategy. Like, it may have worked with your SATs, it may have worked with your
Right.
GRE, it may have worked with the ACTs, but with this test, don't sit in this test and blow an attempt when there is help out here to help prepare you. First of all, if you want to go in prepared and you want to take it one shot and be done, get the preparation.
Mhm.
Contact us, contact. And I'm not one of these entrepreneurs that says, just come to us. We're the best out here. No, do what works for you.
Right.
But
Right.
whatever works, whatever you need, if you don't need that live one-on-one, but you can let your auditory, so you can just listen to somebody talking it to you, then do that. But
Mhm.
whatever you do, don't go into a test blind,
Right.
because that's gonna, no matter how much you think it doesn't affect you, it affects your next testing attempt, because in the back of your mind you're saying the entire time, oh, I saw this on the last test. Oh, I put this, what answer did I put on the last test?
And that test is
Hey,
gonna be different.
and the test is different. They have so many different variations of all of these tests. I know at a minimum there are three different variations of each and every single test.
Mhm.
So you can take the test 5 attempts and not see the same questions on each one of those different attempts. And that is real talk.
But I think one thing to take it even a step farther, it also shows your potential education style. Like,
Hmm.
are you just gonna go in the classroom and wing it,
Hmm.
and whatever happens,
Hmm.
and the kids just gonna go on the ride with you? Or are you really gonna sit down and plan and strategize and make sure that you have every piece of the puzzle together, so that when students walk through your classroom, you know what to teach, you know how to teach it, you know what it should look like, you know what it should sound like. You've done it at bat to practice teaching it, especially as a new teacher.
Right.
And then you want to make sure that you have that consistency for your students.
Right.
um s- Kids, they need structure,
Hmm. And
you know.
so, yeah, that brings us to this. Y'all, neither one of us were education majors.
No.
We are both alt cert. Hey,
Well,
I
yeah.
went through Texas Southern University's alternative teacher program way back in 90.
And I graduated from the Texas Southern University.
Right. And what
Not
was
too
your
long.
major?
Biology, minor in
Okay.
chemistry,
Right.
minor
So
in chemistry.
we
So,
know the struggles it is that comes with going through outside programs. Like, we both did it. I did it, worked full time, went to classes in the evening, 2 nights out the week. After work, had at that time one child, a husband, household to manage, and then still have time to do my coursework, as well as
mhm,
study and prep
study
for
for
my
yourself.
exam.
Yeah.
So we get that it's a lot, right? Because we hear it, oh, it's so much, it's so overwhelming. But at the end of the day, if this is something that you really want, the struggle is in the work. The
Mhm.
appreciation for teaching
Satisfaction.
comes through this struggle. So
Mhm,
you have to go through this struggle in order to get to where you want to be, in order to be an effective teacher. How do
mhm.
you feel about that, Coach D?
It's true, because I don't know. I'm only going to speak for myself. Being a teacher, being an educator, it's really the work of the heart.
Hmm.
It really is. You have to love what you do, because there are many a days where I'm like, you know what, this not for me.
Speak
Because
true.
you're dealing with people.
Hmm.
Oh, they're little kids. No, these are people. And so you're trying to teach this person through whatever it is that they're going through,
Right,
and so you have to go in, and you have to it starts here.
right.
Your struggle starts here, and how you handle this struggle will determine how the next struggle goes, and the next struggle goes, and the next struggle goes. I've been doing this for over 10 years,
Hmm.
and no matter where you go, no matter the type of school, whether it's an academy, a Vanguard, a STEM school, or a neighborhood public school, or a charter school, there's always going to be challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And like you stated, taking and preparing for this test is a challenge.
Right.
It's a struggle because there's going to be something that you don't know.
Exactly.
You're going to have to be vulnerable. So you can be vulnerable, struggle, not pass, have to take it again, or you can struggle, be vulnerable, and ask for help
Mm-hmm.
and get where you need to go.
Yeah. And
Because like you said, move like I know the first time I took the test, I was heartbroken because I'm like, oh my goodness, I thought that I would have, you know,
mm-hmm.
done well. That took a toll.
Mm-hmm.
That took a toll. And then, like you say, if you're teaching and you're on an emergency certification, you
Mm-hmm.
have a time frame now.
Right.
So it's all of these different variables that people really don't talk about, but it's there.
Exactly.
It's there. And so I think the first thing that I would say to the testing anxiety is start early, plan it out. Don't try to do it on your own. You know, ask for help.
Right.
Yes, you're spending money now, but that's going to pay off later.
Sure will. I'm
You
so
know,
glad you said that.
a lot of people are like, oh, well, it costs too much. Well, you have to think about it. You have to have the foresight. Okay, I might pay this amount now, but how much more will I be making?
Right.
That's going to replace whatever it is that you spent on effective coaching
Right.
to help you pass this test.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
because we need teachers.
Woo-wee. Because we're retiring.
Trying.
Yes. It's,
Teachers are needed. And so, you know, if you give, then you'll get in return
mhm.
what it is that you expect.
Right.
And the second part to the anxiety, I would say, once you've learned all you can, be done. Don't wait. Don't try to study the day before,
Hmm.
the morning of. If you know that you've done all that you can do, I'm done. I'm going to spend the next day relaxing, and I'm going to go take my test tomorrow.
Right. Right. And that's what we recommend when you finish
Mhm.
our courses and you finish all the coursework, we finished all the practices, we've had our review sessions, you're ready. And that's what I said, you're ready.
Mhm.
Give yourself maybe a couple of days and go test. Do
Mhm.
not, and I kid
Don't
you not,
wait.
I've spoken with all people, all directors from Houston community, I mean Harris County Department of Education, um, Texas A&M University, Prairie View A&M University, Long Star Tomball, and that's what the consensus is. You know, they're holding on instead of going on testing. When you know the information and you're
Mhm.
confident that you know what you know and you gonna see it and know it, you have to test.
Mhm.
You know, you
Get
can't
over
go
it.
through the program in October and say, oh, hey, coach, I'm not testing until January. Well, all of that hard work has just waned because the
Mhm.
momentum is gone. It's
Mhm.
like being in a race. You know, you prepare for the race, right? I mean, I didn't run track, but I love me some
I
track,
did.
okay? So you know they
Yes.
train hard. They
Yeah.
go out there every day. Them girls had them legs looking like some stallions, you know, got them big old thighs. They out there working. And
Mhm.
so here comes the track meet. You're not out there trying to train your body the day of the meet.
Right.
On the day of the meet,
You're
you
there to perform.
relax. You good. You like, okay, I'm coming in first. I got this. You see them out there kicking their legs and
Mhm.
woo, they get ready, stretching,
Mhm.
because now it's game on.
Yeah.
And that's the exact same type of mentality you have to have when you're preparing for these tests. You
Absolutely.
go through the programs, you get the questions you need answered, and then at the end, you finish. Go to the finish line and take the test.
Mhm.
And that's the reward, is the finish line. And one good thing about our program is, if you don't meet the mark, you still have help. And I had a question, well, can you guarantee? Well,
It's up to you
did
too.
240 guarantee you that you were gonna pass?
Yeah.
You've been with them for a long time.
Mm.
You didn't pass. I'm
I
going
think
to tell you what I can do. I'm
yeah.
going to fill in some more gaps, but the work is on you. You
Yep.
have to commit to studying. You have to commit every single day. I'm going to take this amount of time and I'm going to review and I'm going to study and I'm going to answer these questions. I'm going to put into practice these strategies that I have. And when you do that, I can guarantee you're gonna come out better than you
Mhm.
did the first, second,
Support.
third, fourth, and fifth, the fourth time you took that test. Oh, I guarantee that
Yeah.
without a doubt.
And then another thing is that I like, if I take the test and I don't pass, you'll walk me through. Okay, well, let's find what happened.
Right.
Let's find out what did not work for you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's find out where you need attention on. Okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
you have the math part right. You have the science part right. It's the ELA aspect that you don't understand. Okay, let's spend so many sessions focusing on this part.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, looking at those test questions, because it might be a test taking strategy that you can share.
Exactly.
It might be the anxiety mixed with me not understanding something.
Mm-hmm.
So teaching is not easy.
That's your third time saying
It's not. It's
it.
not. And I say that because people really do think that, oh, I can just go be a teacher.
Yeah.
If you have to know that content.
Right.
And as I've said probably for the third time, it starts here.
Right.
It starts here. So if you don't understand, ask.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's expecting you to understand it. And kind of like what you said, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Right. Right.
Everybody would be doing it.
Right.
Uh, so that's my thought process on testing anxiety. If you plan and prepare for it, then that anxiety will it'll slowly ease itself away,
Right.
and so that you'll walk into that room confident. And sometimes you just have to say, you know what, it is what it is. I'm going for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't think about it, just do it.
Exactly. I like that. Just do it. Nike, just do
Like,
it.
do it. Yeah.
Okay, Coach. One last question. Are there any specific success stories or memorable moments from your coaching that you would like to showcase the impact of your guidance, or you would like to share with us how it made you feel as a coach, as well as how your client felt working with you?
um and I think we kind of already touched on this. um we were talking about in one session, we were talking about chemistry
Mm-hmm.
and the chemical equations.
Mm-hmm.
And the client, she just didn't understand it, and she was honest about it. I just don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. You're gonna have to, you know, basically teach this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I taught it like I would one of my students.
Mm-hmm.
And we looked at the answer choices, and I kind of let her go through each answer choice based on the concept and how I delivered it to her.
Right.
And it was like, oh, okay, I get this now. And again, to have that aha moment.
I was there for that,
Yes,
and
you were
the
there for that one.
grin on her face was as big as Texas. She's like, I understand it,
Mhm.
and you went through several questions with her, and each time
Mhm.
she got the correct answer. So
Mhm.
I'm sitting over here like a proud mama bear. Yes, because I still don't get. No, I got it.
You have to get it now.
Right,
You
right.
have to, Coach Raychelle. Um, Come on now.
I'm gonna leave the science to you, baby.
It's there's a science behind the science.
And that's what all science teachers say, the science
Mhm.
behind the science.
Yes.
So I would like to thank you so much for joining me tonight. This has been a pleasure.
Yes.
I love
Thank you
your
for having me.
energy. Yes, ma'am. I am so glad to have you on board with us, helping people get to where we are and to make their dreams come true, to help teach the students of our future, the children of our future, because these this is our future, and we need qualified, highly qualified teachers in the
Absolutely.
classrooms, making sure that we are putting out the best citizens that we possibly could put out there, in spite of all of the challenges
Challenges,
that
absolutely.
we face, and so I really thank you. For those of you who are listening, I would love to help you. We would love to help you on your certification journey.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
we're rolling out 3 new programs, packages, because of demand. We have an essentials fundamentals package, a Q&A package, and so the Q&A is just saying, hey, I just want to go to practice questions. I don't need the content. I just need somebody to walk me through these questions, help me see, like Coach D said she did with her previous client, help me understand where I'm making my mistakes.
Hmm.
Our next package is more inclusive. You have content prep. You have a session with the coach, and you also receive practice questions. Our final and last package is our mastery package, and that's an all comprehensive package. With that package, you get study plans, you get content coverage, you get test taking strategies, you get practice, hundreds of practice questions, as well as a week 4 weeks of review with our coaches. And that's 4 weeks of one night a week sitting with your coach and going through practice questions. And when I tell you that is powerful,
Yes.
especially if you have been struggling and you need that type of support, that's the most powerful package I think we have, because it's more designed for you and your specific test taking needs. So those are our 3 packages. Like Coach D said, you invest in your future now, and the payoff is going to be at the end. It really will be a payoff. I mean, I went through practice um, for both my principal's exam as well as my teacher certification exams, and it paid off. Those were
Hmm.
investments that really helped me build my confidence going into the test. And guess what? I was blessed to have only had to take my exams one time,
One time.
because
Oh, yeah.
I tell you, that principal's exam almost took me out of here. When I left out of that exam, I was weak in my knees. I crawled in my car,
Oh,
literally.
no.
But when I knew what I knew, because I had prepared, I
Hmm.
studied, I invested the time, I invested the money to get the coaching. So when I left out of there, I knew I had a better shot of
Yes.
going in there prepared than I did if I would have not been prepared. And so,
Absolutely.
that's the goal, is to get in there and get it done with, so you can really enjoy your career as a teacher. Well,
Hmm.
if you want to check us out, visit my website at www.kabeducationalconsulting.com. Give us a call. Just reach out, and we will be here to help you on your success journey, uh, reaching your goal of becoming a TExES
Educator.
certified
Ye-
teacher. Now, Texans are arrogant. So it's something about saying I'm a Texas
Texas educator. Yes.
certified educator. I mean, we're
Yes.
just as big as Texas, right? Is
Yes.
there any last words you would like to share, Coach?
Just as you stated, reach out and good luck on your journey.
Right. Good luck, y'all. Happy New Year.
Happy,
Take
happy
care.
New Year.
It was a pleasure working and talking with you again, Coach T.
Thank
I am
you.
so blessed to have you on board. Yes, this is my
Thank you. Thank you.
2023 accomplishment. All
Yes.
right.
Yes,
All right,
absolutely.
ma'am.
All
You go
righty.
back to work tomorrow, right? Okay. I didn't mean to bring it up tonight, but have a great first day back.
Thank you.
Ease back into it. I know it's hard going back,
Well,
but
the kids don't come tomorrow, so
yeah.
it's
I
teacher prep day, professional development. So I get to ease into it. Then I have the weekend to
right.
namaste in
Namaste,
my
namaste.
bed. Yes.
Well,
Yes.
I
I'll be
pray
back.
for all of you teachers that have gone back. I pray that you guys have a successful spring semester. The
Yes.
spring semesters are the busiest semesters, busiest time of the year because you're really prepping for these
Yeah.
these state exams, the STAR
Yeah.
exams. The pressure is on you as well as the students. Just remember, not only you are under the pressure, but your students are as well
Mhm.
because they want to make you look good and make you happy and make you proud.
Yes.
So they're going to be working hard and everybody's going to be, in that boat together. So my prayer is for continued success, much success to all of the teachers out there. And you guys take care. All right, Coach. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.